10:40 in the morning, and today I get to do a $76 recap. Um, Pretty light trading for me today. It's nice to see things are moving a little bit more. I mean, yesterday was dead quiet. So today things are moving a bit more. And as you can see here, I only traded 100 shares. In fact, actually, this second trade for $6 on AMC was actually an accident. I clicked the button on accident. I'll go over it. AMC, I got 13 cents per share on 100 shares. Yeah, it is what it is, And then on NBRV, I got 12 cents per share on 500 shares. So let me just kind of go over it and you can see what I was looking at here. Let's go over the ones that I traded first. So AMC here, I was, just kind of keeping an eye on it. This is the 1 minute chart. And this was its morning high. Its pivot is actually a few cents lower and would have been a little bit of a better entry right down here at 833. That would have been a better entry right there. I used the peak of the opening range. So, it is what it is. So after it crossed $18.45, I put an order in for 100 shares of AMC at $18.45, and it made a pretty good run from right there. And I actually clicked, so I was in at 1845, and I clicked sell after it hit 1865. And for whatever reason, it dropped 8 cents and filled me 8 cents lower than where the level 2 was at that point in time. So, I got 12 cents instead of 20 cents. I mean, it would have been nicer, to have gotten 20 cents. That would have been a $100 trade rather than a $60 trade. But, you got to take what Mother Market gives you. And that's just the way it goes. NBRV, now this was a tough one. If I didn't have as much experience as I did trading, then I probably wouldn't have taken this trade. I got in on this one at $2.13. And I was watching the level 2. Initially, I was watching for a break over the opening range, which it did give later on. I wasn't going to take it. I don't know. At that point, I had actually just taken profits. I'll show you where and why. This red candle is $2.13 right here. So I was watching the level 2, and the level 2 is really important. I mean, the charts are just kind of there as a map, but when it comes to really nailing down the coordinates for your next move, it's really, especially on momentum, especially on small cap momentum, it's really important to watch the level 2. And so at this point right here, a bunch of sellers came in. And I mean, it only says 30,000 shares traded right here, but I know that's not right because NBRV right now has 81 million, almost 82 million shares traded this morning. I don't know why my volume bars aren't showing that, aren't a more accurate representation. So here on the daily, let's go to the daily chart here. Here on the daily chart, it's showing 78, almost 79 million shares traded, and that's nearly 3 million shares less than what's actually being traded. So on this bar right here, a lot more than 30,000 shares are traded in this 1 minute time frame. And so I was watching the level 2, and a big seller, a 45,000 share seller, came in at $2.13. And so I was watching it get bumped. It was like, so $2.13 would get hit, and a little bit would come off of that seller's total. It would drop down to from 45,000 to 42,000. Then it dipped down for a minute, and then right here in this candle, it kept hitting 213, and that 45,000 share seller got whittled down, and just before the 45,000 went to zero, I clicked buy at $2.13, and it broke the $2.13. For whatever reason, some big seller decided $2.13 was going to be his line in the sand, or her line in the sand, and it broke, and it went up to $2.28 here. So after it hit $2.28, I was kind of like, I was watching the level two, and another big seller came in at $2.30. And so I was like, okay, well, let's see. So it hit $2.30, but it just wasn't going to break through $2.30. There was a 60,000 share seller at $2.30. And so I was like, okay, let me let it go. And I let it go, and I got filled at, let's see, 12 cents. I got filled at $2.25 for a 12-cent gain. So, I mean, it is what it is. I got the break. My timing was good. It didn't move like, another thing about this stock is that it's not really the float size that I like. So I like float sizes that are 10 million or less. This has an outstanding share size of 35 million and a float size of closer to 30 million. And so it's gonna be, and on top of that, it's already traded now, or at almost 83 million shares traded. So it's gonna be a crowded trade. And so it's gonna be kind of not the same momentum stock that I like, where you get these, gigantic runs of 50 cents to $1 at a time and so forth. So I let it go, didn't play it again. I got my $58 roughly of profit. Really not a big day. So AMC here. So I was watching AMC, and I was watching for the break of 1845. I'd clicked in at $18.48, I believe it was, and it ran 20 cents, and I hit sell, and for whatever reason, I got filled with a 13-cent profit rather than a 20-cent per share profit, which, that's the way it is. But then I clicked in accidentally right around here on this candle. So I was I was putting in a new order for a break of 1902. So if this stock could have, hit this level, run down, tested this previous support level that I had, that I traded earlier, and then come back and broken through, my entry would have been right here at roughly 1902. At roughly $19.02, or actually $19.03 would have been the proper entry for a break of that pivot and a move higher. But you can see here it hasn't done it. And then it came down and it broke back down below the support, and is now just kind of struggling to hold on to a bullish trend for the day, a bullish bias for the day. And then so the other thing that I was watching is GameStop here. GameStop, I didn't play this, obviously, it's not on my P&L. Made a nice break. This would have been a good spot. This pivot, this early pivot right here, would have been a good spot for an entry. And so I didn't take the entry. I wasn't actually paying attention to it at the time. And I was like, okay, well, let's see if it can do, one of my favorite setups is when it breaks resistance, comes down, tests, and then continues to move higher. My entry would have been above the high right here at 245 a share for a continuation higher. However, you can see here that it came down, tested the resistance, and then broke down through the resistance and didn't give the trade. Then ZS came nowhere near my levels this morning. We're down here between 188.16 and 183.03. In fact, actually 188.16, I would have been looking for that one for a bounce, and then I would have averaged in between these two numbers, 185 and 183. Didn't work out. It pretty much took off and stayed up high. It gave a little bit of a dip right here to 191, but really didn't hit my levels, certainly. And so I was like, okay, well, let's see. Here we have this, sort of early morning pivot here. And you can see, this is the 1 minute. Let me open it up a little bit bigger here so it's a little bit easier to see. So it came here, it broke this level, came down to test, and didn't continue higher. Instead, it failed. And so that's, not a trade. There's no trade there. There's no entry there. And the proper, if it had come down, test, and continued moving higher, then the proper entry would have been right there at 199.70. Didn't give it, so no trade. No big deal. There will be more entries and exits and so forth coming up forward. It's nice to see that there's a little bit more activity on the market today than there was yesterday. So perhaps for the rest of the week, perhaps here into the end of the month, let's see, there are 1, 2, 3 trading days left in the month. Perhaps things will get more active to the end of May. We'll see. What else? Let's see. Dix did a great job. Deeks didn't hit my levels, unfortunately. There was just a tad bit of profit taking after the open, but this thing really hit a low today of $91.50 roughly, and made a run for $100 per share. Almost hit it at a high of $99.50. So no trade there. Didn't hit my levels. Don't get the trade. That's the way these things work sometimes. And then, okay, NBRV, yeah, PIRS. So PIRS had a great day yesterday, but ever since the open, it's pretty much just sold off. Yeah, there was a tiny bump of like 10 cents or something, and then it's just come down. Yesterday's close was at $3.76. Imagine there might be a bump there, some support roughly around 376 or so. Not sure. It's after 10:30 in the morning. Sometimes I'll stick around and trade and open up a new trade before 11 o'clock, but that's when things are really moving and there's a lot of activity on the market. Right now, that's just not the case. So, after 10:30, I just pretty much call it a day. I get to take home $76. So, yeah, the broader market, let's see. Oh, yeah, actually, this was a really nice, you can see here on the 1 minute here, it broke down below, it broke into oversold down here on the 1 minute, then came back up and then retested that strength area and then moved forward. Now, it's only, from 417.81 to 418.98. I mean, that's not like a huge range. It's not a big move. But, and the same indicator, the same relative strength indicator right here gave you the same entry on its cross back above oversold. That would have been a nice entry. That would have been a nice trade, except you see here the VIX at the same time of the day. Let's go back and look here again at, we'll call that 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock this morning, the VIX wasn't showing the same signal here. See, at 10 o'clock, the VIX just didn't correspond with the action on the SPY. And so I didn't take the trade. I never look at one indicator for an entry, and so the VIX didn't give me the second indicator I was looking for, and so I didn't take the trade. We're down here at the bottom of the gap. Oops, I'm out of the screen here. Let me pull it back into where everybody can see it. I don't even know if I was in the screen when I was doing that. Oh well, I'm a little bit sleepy. I don't know what was up with my kids last night. They woke up each at 3, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I don't know what the deal was. And they went back to sleep again at 5. And then waking them up to get them ready for school was a chore, to say the least. So I'm a little bit sleepy. I don't know. I hope I was doing that commentary inside of the screen where I have my streaming service. Anyway, so here's the gap. from late February of 2020, where we started the downturn. We'll call it the Cerveza sickness crash. I can't say the word COVID on YouTube for whatever reason. I don't know. They'll I still have a video on review from March 26th where I said the Cerveza sickness trade is getting played out. I didn't use the words Cerveza sickness to describe it, and I don't know what the deal is with YouTube. But anyway, the VIX here looks like it's trying to break back down below the gap again in order to continue lower. The VIX is called the fear index, and so when the VIX spikes up, everything else on the broader cross asset allocations tend to sell off. So to see volatility break back down again below this gap would be a positive. And I will definitely be looking for trades to the long side on the SPY and other large caps in the S&P on that fall below 18.2 there. All right, so that's pretty much everything that's going on. Good luck out there today. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.